Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Rosinka podcast. And our topic for this week is When Did You Know You Were Special? And our guest for this week is Marco Chukwumobike, who is a pharmacist, marketing professional, and a football manager aficionado. Hello, Marco. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Zinga. Thank you for having me.
So, is this your very first podcast then?
Yes, this is my very first podcast, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I remember you've done some radio broadcasts in the past, like some jingles and the rest of them, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I've done radio. I've been on radio. I've done Twitter Spaces. I've been on Instagram Live. So I guess you can say it's the same thing. I don't know. I'm looking to find out.
Yeah, it's similar. So, but since you've done all these things compared to the podcast, and this is your first time in the podcast, like, what are your expectations then?
Well, I'm expecting to say a lot of things that will be used against me.
Hopefully not.
Because, but I'm expecting, it's you I'm talking to, so I'm pretty comfortable,
Okay.
And I'm just looking to have a nice time.
All right.
Talk.
No problem.
Yeah.
So let's do justice to the topic then. But let's start with, what does the phrase "I am special"? What does that mean to you?
Well, to be honest, I've given it a lot of thought, and what I think being special means to me is being unique, not so much as special. Because I'm not Jose Mourinho, I'm not the special one. But I see myself as unique, not even different, but I see my experiences, I see my education, my knowledge, the things that I've been through. No one else has been through the very same things I've been through or I've seen. So in that aspect, I can say, yes, I am special in the sense that my experiences are unique.
Yeah.
My knowledge and my thought process.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, but was there anything that happened in your life with everything you've experienced that made you feel, oh, now I know I'm special? Like now you're looking back now, you're reflecting and you can tell your own journey is different. It's very unique to you. But is there anything that happened at a particular point in time that made you feel, okay, now I know I'm special?
Looking back, reflecting, there's always been certain points, certain crossroads in one's life generally, and then in my life particularly, that I can say, yes, this is a special moment, or this is a unique experience for me.
Yeah.
And the first one is that I'm the firstborn son.
Yeah.
So I'm already special.
Yeah.
Yes. In Igbo culture, the firstborn son is the special one. So in that, I came out special. The luck of the draw for me made me special. And then reflecting also, I learned from my parents that I skipped nursery 3, because I caught on pretty fast with academics. So that felt pretty special, Then I skipped primary 6, went straight from primary 5 to GS1. So I'll claim that as my superpower.
Yeah.
And then, academically, I've always felt a bit special in the sense that I could understand things maybe a bit easier than the rest of the people would. And basically, I've also felt very special in the sense that I've had some very lucky encounters or very lucky breaks that some other people may not. Maybe they do, but in my experience or looking back, retrospecting now, I feel those lucky breaks were because of something, whatever it is, but those experiences made me feel very special.
Interesting. So, if you saw those experiences made it like, was there a particular person, maybe like a teacher you met in your primary school, nursery school,
Hmm.
university, second, like that had the biggest influence on your life to make to actually to spur you on or to encourage you to, like the way you said you moved from nursery two to primary school, from primary
Yeah.
five to secondary. Like, do you think there's anybody in those periods, like a teacher or anyone else, that actually had an influence in your life to make you feel like you're special?
Yes, yes, definitely. Teachers are very huge influences, and I'm someone that, for some reason, there is a particular teacher that I can't forget. I even know her name, and I call her Auntie Deborah Okeke till today. I've not reached out to her, but I remember her face and remember her name till today. My primary one teacher. As at my primary one, I was, according to her, was reading at the level of primary four students. So she did something. She got me readers. I don't know what it's. I can't remember what it's called. Macmillan readers. Those days, you remember we had primary one reader, English,
Yeah.
primary two, primary three. So I was in primary one, if my memory serves me correctly, and she got me primary one to primary five readers and gave that to me from the library. So I took them home, and I think I finished all the comprehension passages from primary one to primary five
Yeah.
in a few weeks, a few months. And she was always my teacher. She became my lesson teacher. My parents hired her to privately tutor me, and help me continue my comprehension and reading in that regard. So, in that sense, Auntie Deborah is a teacher that I will remember, and I'll pin that this tutor, this teacher made me feel special
Yeah.
and encouraged me.
Interesting. Now that you've mentioned it, like, I'm just curious now. Maybe it may sound as if we're digressing a bit, but that's not my aim. But I'm just curious here. You know how you mentioned how Auntie Deborah tried as much as possible to let you know you are really, really smart and special, that you are reading at that particular level. So, do you think like teachers have huge influence on a lot of students? Because sometimes I think teachers make this mistake. From my own experience from primary, sometimes I feel like they paid more attention to smart students.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's fair? Like, try as much as possible, because you may have people who may be dyslexic in the class and they're struggling. Do you think that's fair that they pay more attention to those they perceive to be smart compared to the other ones?
Oh, absolutely. It's totally unfair. You can trace it back to Nigeria having a population problem, number one. A primary school class should not have 50 students to one teacher, in my humble opinion. So it makes it difficult for these teachers, these educators, to also give the right attention to carry those that are not at the same developmental level as the top of the class, to carry everyone along. It's something that I know for sure that is a problem. And also the patience of educators and teachers to channel attention to the ones that are catching up a bit slower than the rest. And even the training, the teachers equipped to identify pupils with learning challenges, with developmental challenges, and give them the proper attention or the proper techniques that are necessary for them to learn. It's also a challenge. So there are so many issues regarding that, but I can't throw any blame to anybody. We do the best we can with the resources that we have. So, but teachers play a huge role. Parents too, on their own end, having to live with the kid, should be able to understand their own special needs. I will use my family for instance. I happen to be one of the more, in terms of reading and comprehension anyway, not in terms of analytics. I was very bad at maths, so I'm not special there in any way. But reading and comprehension, I was doing better than my peers. But even in my family, right now, looking back, retrospecting, I can diagnose some of my family members that were dyslexic, borderline autistic,
But, but
challenge.
but did the parents notice that? Do you think the parents noticed that?
So, they should,
But
shouldn't
but looking back now, sometimes I don't think they did.
they? Did not.
Yeah.
They did not. A dyslexic kid struggling to read to catch up, and you're using cane, you're
Exactly. Yeah.
and trying. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help in any way. But
Yeah.
it's how we found ourselves growing up. You
Yeah.
know, some people ended up catching up. Some ended up not catching up at all. And my brother,
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
kind of point.
Exactly, because when I think about it, because teachers are very, very important. They play a huge because I've noticed some students will tell me what this teacher, the horrible thing this teacher say to them, and they spur them to be better. Or this one will tell me the wonderful thing this person say to them, and they make, you see what I mean? So
Yes.
and so I'm comparing the two now. But like, let's get back to our topic. So
Sure.
now that you know you're special, would you say you are a generalist or a specialist, or like you are a multi-potential, like you have so many interests? So how would you describe yourself now?
I would describe myself as, okay, let me give you some background. Growing up, I obviously started reading at a very young age and kept reading at a very advanced level for my age. My parents tried to help me along in that journey I remember particularly, I think I was 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. My dad went to the market in Enugu, Abapa main market, and bought Enugu, Nigeria, and bought a box of books, second-hand and fairly used books. I'm not sure he told them who was reading these books, because he bought a box that had not less than 60 books and brought them for me and kept that. Since I like to read, start. I read from that box for over 2 years. Different books. There was an atlas. I can remember there were novels that were far above what I should be reading at that age. There were religious books. There were like a box of books. So yes, definitely I've been reading for very long. And from then, I also developed a very keen interest for video games.
Yeah.
I started playing video games at a very young age. I remember leaving school to go and play video games and getting in trouble for that. I also enjoyed what I now see as, what will I call it, project management.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was younger, I used to build estates out of paper and cardboard in our house. It got me into so much trouble because I'll litter the entire house. But I wanted to build big estates. I'll build houses, skyscrapers with cardboard, glue gum, build people, cars, like build a functional community and be the lord of the community in my head, So I was playing out these interests. I had a lot of interest, varied interests. But as you get older, the pressure comes to narrow down these interests and focus on something.
Yeah.
And not get carried away. But unfortunately, it could go either way. I hate to use the term, the medical term, attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder.
Yeah.
I really hate to go there, but it can also be as a result of, that could be as a result of those symptoms could occur. It could be there in a child that is not able to narrow down their focus or narrow down their interest.
Yeah.
So as I kept growing, even while trying to choose a career path, these interests kept coming up. I was studying to be a pharmacist, but I kept playing those video games. I started producing music. I started singing and rapping. I was managing, I was coaching football games and leaving my school to go to other schools to win football tournaments. And, so connecting the dots now, I would say that yes, I'm not a generalist in the broad sense of that I'm skilled at multiple things, but I have multiple interests in a
Yeah.
lot of things,
Yeah.
and then I'm able to hyper focus on one small aspect of a very small interest, hyper focus on it and get very good at it and drive my passion there. You
Yeah.
can lose the interest as fast as it comes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's something. It's also part of why I'm very special. I'm getting to learn more about myself and channel my energy properly. But that's how I can describe myself, and that's how I can answer your question.
Yeah, I totally understand that because I remember, because you say you're a football aficionado. I remember the first
Yeah.
time my friend introduced me to Football Manager. I think I was in my third or fourth year of university, and I was like, what the hell is this nonsense? But the moment I played it once, I couldn't stand up. I became so obsessed with it. Like I had to make sure I was so good at it. Like, but the point I'm trying to make is, you become so obsessed with it, at the point you lose interest again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I played that particular game for 2 years, and right now I've not touched it for the past 7 years.
Yeah, it's addictive, to be fair, because it makes you think all the time. Like, you could be talking with your friend and you're thinking, what formation am I going to play when I get home? Like, that's the only thing going through your head. Like,
I have a cup final coming up.
Exactly. You can't say it out, but you're thinking, what formation am I going to play? Am I going to play 4-3-3? So many things are going through your head. Like, it makes you, it's like your brain is on overdrive to think of solutions. Yeah.
I missed that.
That was fun, actually, to be honest. Yeah. But you mentioned that your dad went to Enugu State in Nigeria and bought a box of books. So I'm guessing you're a voracious reader, that you've read a lot of books. So if you're asked to list the best 5 books you've read, what would you pick? Which of the books would you pick?
One of the books that, of course, made a lot of difference in my life is the Bible. I've read the Bible in English and in Igbo.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So the Bible is number 1.
But have you tried reading the Deuterocanonical books?
No.
I think you should.
I don't know.
Like Sirach and the rest of them. Like, trust me, you find them interesting.
Exactly. I believe so. And I should look into that. But definitely the Bible is number 1.
Yeah.
I would like to read the Quran, but I don't know if I'm allowed to read the Quran. But the books that you're not allowed to read, those are the books that you should read.
Exactly.
So number 2 is, there's this book called My Book of Bible Stories. I also got it in that box. I can't forget it. It's a Jehovah's Witness adaptation of Bible stories for children and young adults. I love it. 3 to 5 should be the Harry Potter books, straight up.
Okay.
The Harry Potter books, I read all of them. I got all of them as soon as they were coming out. In fact, I remember reading one particular Harry Potter book. I got it in the morning around 6 a.m. as a gift for my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And I read it from that morning till I finished it by 12 midnight in the same day. I read it throughout and finished it that same day. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep till I finished that book. Wow. Then there's also just these ones are bonuses, but it's called The Indian in the Cupboard. These are fiction. I read fiction. I prefer fiction. I don't like aspire to aspire. Fiction makes my brain, think. It's called The Indian in the Cupboard. It's a trilogy.
Okay.
One of my good friends, RBK, got me those books from UK, and I loved it. The Indian in the Cupboard, fantastic fiction. Then the Enid Blyton books from when I was growing up. That deserves a mention. And there's this girl, I can't remember her name again, in Enugu when we were growing up, that wrote Bina series.
The Atuegu.
Yes, Atuegu, correct. Yeah, those books, they leave very, very fond memories in my head.
Yeah. Interesting. But since you've read all these books and you've chosen the best, but If, just assuming now that someone, let's say, who's the famous? Okay, I will allow you to choose. If you if you would like someone to write a book about you, who would you want the person? What would be the title of the book, and who do you want the person? Who do you want to write the book?
A book about me should sound like fiction.
Yeah.
The title of the book right now, I don't know if I'll change the title later in my life, but right now the title should be Distracted.
You feel like you're distracted.
Yes, Distracted should be the title. The author should spin a tale of a distracted man struggling through the world, and narrowing down his focus as his life continues.
Yeah.
And the author should be Cyprian Ekwensi, no other person.
But is he still alive?
No, blessed memory.
Exactly.
He should come back and write my book.
Somebody who is alive to write the book.
Oh man. Someone that's alive at this moment. To be honest, I don't know. I would probably use someone young. I know some young writers like Aya Dunamdi,
Yeah.
But in that case, it will be an autobiography.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with a ghostwriter, the background, I can spin the tale.
Interesting. Okay, so at least we should contact him and let him know.
Yes. Yes, please.
Fair. But since you mentioned distraction, that you're distracted now.
Yeah.
Is there something you think, since you're struggling to say no to distractions, I think that's a problem for almost everybody because of the information and the phone and the rest of them now. But do you think there's anything you've become better at saying no to, apart from distractions, like since you're struggling with it? Do you think there's anything you've become so good at saying no to?
I think it's still part of why I know, or why I consider myself special. The distractions are part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of life. It has become, I've come to understand it and lean into it. And it's not been a net negative so far, looking back.
Yeah.
In the sense that I'm able to have these various interests, and also my brain is able to connect different things in different ways, that I'm able to see pathways that people that are maybe hyper focused on one channel may not be able to see. So I said yes to everything these past years, and now I'm saying no to everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm saying no to everything because I have said yes for a very long time in my life, and now I'm saying no so that I'm able to say yes to the things
that matter. Yeah.
The things that move my spirit, things that make me feel alive, things that make me feel something. If I don't have a feeling, if I'm not feeling it in my spirit, then it's a no. And if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a no. So that's how I'm approaching life moving forward. No to everything first.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out the yeses. Let the yeses be fewer and far between.
Fair. Interesting. Okay. But in the process of saying no and trying to figure out the ones that are important. So, if considering how special you are, if you are given, as even God comes to that and said He's giving everybody a superpower, what superpower would you like God to give you right now?
Interesting. I would like superhuman strength. Yes, I would like superhuman strength.
Superhuman, what do you mean by that?
Where I'm going is health. I've
Health.
come to identify that that health is one of the major factors, the key factors that determine your quality of life.
True.
In this life. Yeah. So with superhuman strength means that you're super humanly healthy.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
So,
God should give me health.
so good health without aging. Or are you gonna age with the superpower? Because you can have good health and still age and be old, but you have good health. So how do you?
Yes. No, I'm not against aging. Aging is good. People have to age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have nothing against aging. But at each stage of your life, you have staying healthy as long as you live. That's the purpose. Yeah.
Fair. Now that you mentioned aging, and because a lot of people, you have a lot of companies out there that target. You have a lot of research going on now, trying as much as possible to delay aging.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you were asked to pick between time and money, because time will determine whether you age or not anyway. So between time and money, what would you rather have? More time or more money?
More time, of course. I'm not a big fan of money. Chasing money as an object. Money is a resource, is a tool.
Yeah.
In fact, people that have a lot of money are trying to use it to buy time. You see Brian Johnson and his experiments, to live forever.
Yeah.
Because he has so much money. So even the billionaires of this world, the Warren Buffetts of this world, all they are trying to do with their money now is to buy a little more time. They will trade millions and billions of their cash to just go back a few years in time.
True.
Join us. So give me time. Give me as much time as I can, and forget the money.
Yeah. Fair. But because of time, I'm going to ask you one more question, but I would like you to think about this. Then we can round off. So, if there's a child out there, let's say there's a young child out there, the child is confused, misunderstood, how do you think you can actually help this child to understand that he or she is unique and special in their own way?
To be honest, I don't think the child will understand. In this life, you live and you learn. Child, as you're growing and growing, lean into the things that resonate with your soul. It's the mark of a good parent, I believe, to instill values that will guide a child into adulthood.
Yeah.
So if the values are there in that child over time, the values are built over time and with experience and with influence. So if a child is properly influenced and nurtured at home to have values that will take them into adulthood, that is the first step of the job done.
Yeah.
And as this child is going through life, they can better retrospect and introspect and understand at which points in their life that they have become special. Because I cannot, if I'm telling a kid now you are special, sometimes you're also setting up the child for failure.
Yeah. Why do you say so?
by telling them that you're too good, you do this one. Well, life comes at everyone.
Life will humble you. Yeah.
Yes, life will come at you. That particular point that you think is where you're special, that's where life will hit you. So values are very important. Proper values, right from wrong, truth-seeking behavior, and relationships and whatnot. Those things are important. But trying to seek out being special, I won't encourage it. Understand that you're unique. Your experiences, your knowledge, your relationships have made you unique. You're different from the other person. No two parts are the same. And then as you move along life, you can introspect and see at which points that you've been able to leverage something that is inside you that is unique to only you, that God has put inside you, and can go from there.
Interesting. But Would you encourage a child to chase their passion?
I would encourage a child to lean into their passion. Don't discard your passion.
Yeah.
Build on it. Develop it. Work hard at what makes you feel alive. But keep the eye on the money, because money is how you're going to fuel the passion.
Yeah, your livelihood is important as well.
Yes, life and livelihood have to go together. So
yeah,
chase your passion, build it, develop it, but keep an eye on careers or life paths that make money for you.
Yeah. That's very, very thoughtful and insightful, actually. Yeah. But this is all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for Marco for coming on the show.
Yes, boss. I enjoyed this.
I hope you had a great time then.
Oh, yes, I did. I had fun. Thank you so much for my first podcast.
So we can take this off the bucket list now.
Yes, podcast done. Done and dusted.
No problem. Hopefully we'll do this some other time.
Yes, please. I would love that. Thank you so much, Zinga. I appreciate this. Thank you for having me.
All right. Cheers.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.